Let me introduce you to some of our staff this year. I've got my Chief of Staff in Washington, D.C., Anthony Foti, my District Director, who's in Lakeland, Blaine Gravitt, our Communications Director, Katie Hughes from D.C., our Administrator, Shelley Meeker, we've got our Outreach Coordinator, Laura Rodriguez, Diane Stickler, who does casework, and also Tanya Seabright, who does casework. They're going to be here to take questions even after I leave. We're going to go do a town hall meeting in Raven right after this. And then we will get back with you if we don't get to address all the questions tonight. Let me tell you what I'd like to do as far as the format. I'd like to spend a couple minutes of just bringing you up to date on what has been or has not been going on in Washington, D.C., and then I want to entertain questions. And I don't pretend to be an expert, and it probably won't take you long to realize you can stump the congressman, but that's okay. I've got some good staff people here to help me with responding to some of the questions. We adjourned last Friday night for the July 4th recess. We'll go back Monday. As you know, there's some big issues on the table, and there continue to be big issues on the table. My frustration has been whether we're going to even address them. One of the first issues, of course, is immigration. And I will tell you that I believe that we need to address immigration. For the sanctity of this country, to preserve the heritage that has made this country so great, our immigration system is absolutely dysfunctional, broken, and needs to be addressed. That being said, the Senate has passed a comprehensive immigration program that some of you all may be aware that is now over in the House. Let me tell you what I believe is going to happen. In the House, we're going to take up certain parts of immigration reform. Those parts will be border security, an E-Verify program, the guest worker program, and an expanded visa program. We believe that according to our documentation, of the 11 million people that are over here, over 40% are here on expired visas. When their visas expire, if they're not renewed within 90 days, then they are banned from the country if they leave for 10 years. They're here for economic purposes. What I believe we need to do is go forward and make sure that we strengthen our borders. Go forward and make sure we have a strong E-Verify program so that our employers are hiring people who are here documented and legally. I believe we need to have a guest worker program in place to make sure that we can accomplish the labor needs that this country so desperately needs, whether it be agriculture, construction, or in service industries. And I believe that we also need to make sure that we don't have a brain drain, that we allow those people who have come over here on educational visas, high-tech visas, investment visas, to be here and for a period of time, and then at which time their visas expire, they're up for renewal again. We don't track whose visas are expired, and that has been part of the broken system we're in. My idea of creating a path to citizenship already exists. We have citizenship opportunities in this country. What we have is a line that is way too long that allows people who want to earn that citizenship to be in line. I don't think we need to address citizenship at this time. I think that once we address the others, we will have an opportunity to reduce the numbers in the line, have people here for the purposes they wish to be here, and then hopefully have solved a significant part of our immigration concerns. Another issue that I want to talk about real quickly has to deal with the NSA, the Patriot Act. You know, when we renewed the Patriot Act, we did so, of course, making sure that we had protections in the Act. Recently, you all saw that with the disclosure by Mr. Snowden of a blanket warrant, an order that was done by a FISA judge, a Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, that records for all wireless customers for Verizon in the United States were obtained as metadata. And what concerns me about this is I went back and looked at the Patriot Act, and I looked back at what we passed in the statute. And the statute says that the FISA court can issue an order upon application of the Department of Justice or the NSA for things which are relevant to an ongoing terrorist investigation. My question was, why is my 74-year-old mother-in-law's Verizon wireless records relevant to an ongoing terrorist investigation? Why are some of yours? The answers I received were innocuous. In fact, the answers I received resulted in me coming to the conclusion that I believe it was an absolute misapplication of the law. And while there is, with probable cause, the opportunity to go after conversations and content and individuals, to be able to obtain everything in global data has to be very concerning. And so I filed a bill just Friday that would require that under the Patriot Act, that the documents being sought must specifically indicate who the persons or persons are and must specifically allege the actual factual basis as between them and an ongoing terrorist investigation. Look, I firmly believe, as you I hopefully do, that we need to protect ourselves from terrorism, both foreign and domestic. But one of the most fundamental principles to me is the liberties we have here and our freedoms, which include the right to privacy and unlawful search and seizures as guaranteed by the Fourth Amendment. So we'll see what happens in this over the next couple of weeks. Tax reform is a big issue, which I think that we're going to probably address in November. We will be back for the month of July, and then we take an August recess, and we're back again in September. With that, I'd like to go into questions. I think it's important that we have, and I'm going to call it first. Our job here in Congress, and I'll tell you this, I've said this just about anywhere, anytime, I will not make a career out of this. Being a member of Congress is what I do, it's not who I am. I had a good life in the private sector, and I will be back there, hopefully on my own accord, in due time. But I think it's important that the members of Congress do not insulate themselves in a bubble in Washington, D.C., or in their district office when we go out and meet people. We've held town hall meetings all over the district. Tonight we're doing here and also Brandon. We will continue to do this. I expect, again, a lot of frustration, and I understand that. But with that being said, I'm going to let you ask the first question.